When people talk about success, they often imagine beautiful houses, expensive cars, and a life without problems. On social media, success looks fast and easy, but the truth is very different. Behind every success story, there is a price that few people see. Carlos learned this lesson during one of the most difficult years of his life. Carlos grew up in a small town. His family did not have much money, but they worked hard every day. His father was a mechanic, and his mother sold homemade food in the local market. They always told him the same thing: education is the door to a better life. Carlos believed them. From a young age, he dreamed of creating a better future, not only for himself, but also for his parents. He wanted to help them rest after many years of hard work. However, dreams are easy to imagine and difficult to achieve. When Carlos finished high school, he moved to the city to study and work at the same time. The city was big, noisy, and expensive. Everything felt new and challenging. During the day, Carlos attended classes at a small university. At night, he worked in a restaurant washing dishes. The work was tiring and the salary was small, but it helped him pay for his books and rent. Many nights he returned home after midnight. His hands smelled like soap and food, and his back hurt from standing for hours. Sometimes he asked himself a painful question: is this really worth it? While he worked, he saw other young people enjoying their evenings. They went to parties, watched movies, and traveled during weekends. Carlos rarely had time for those things. The price of his dream was time and comfort. One evening, after a very long shift, Carlos felt extremely tired. He still had to study for an important exam the next morning. When he arrived at his small room, he looked at his books and felt defeated. "I can't do this," he whispered. At that moment, his phone rang. It was his mother. "How are you, son?" she asked warmly. Carlos tried to sound positive. "I'm fine, Mom, just a little tired." His mother stayed silent for a moment. Then she said something simple but powerful. "Remember why you started." After the call ended, Carlos sat quietly. He remembered his parents waking up early every day. He remembered his father fixing cars under the hot sun. He remembered his mother smiling while serving food to customers. They had paid their own price for many years. That night, Carlos opened his books again. The following months were not easier. In fact, they became harder. Some classes were very difficult. His English course required many hours of practice, and sometimes he felt embarrassed speaking in front of others. But he continued. Carlos began to understand something important. Success is not only about talent, it is about persistence. Every day he improved a little. One new word in English, one chapter finished, one problem solved. Small progress became his daily victory. After 1 year, Carlos found a better opportunity. A small company needed someone who could speak basic English and help with simple online tasks. The salary was not huge, but it was better than the restaurant job. He applied immediately. During the interview, he felt nervous. His English was not perfect, and he made a few mistakes, but he tried his best and spoke with honesty. A week later, he received good news. He got the job. Carlos felt incredibly happy. For the first time, he could work during the day and study with more energy at night. Life was still busy, but it was moving in the right direction. However, success always asks for another price. Now Carlos had more responsibilities at work. He needed to learn new software, communicate with international clients, and solve problems quickly. Sometimes he made mistakes and felt frustrated, but every mistake became a lesson. Instead of quitting, he asked questions, he watched tutorials, he practiced until he understood. Slowly, his confidence grew. 2 years later, Carlos graduated from university. His parents traveled to the city for the ceremony. It was the first time they had seen the campus. When Carlos walked across the stage to receive his diploma, he looked at his parents in the audience. His mother was crying, and his father was smiling proudly. In that moment, Carlos realized something important. The real reward of success was not money or recognition. It was the ability to change the future. After graduation, Carlos continued working and learning. He improved his English even more and developed new professional skills. Opportunities began to appear. Eventually, he started a small online project, helping people learn practical digital skills. At the beginning, only a few people joined his lessons.
But he remembered the same rule that had guided him before. Progress comes from consistency. Week after week, he created content, answered questions, and improved his lessons. Slowly, his project grew. One day, a student sent him a message. "Thanks to your classes, I got my first online job." Carlos read the message twice. He felt deeply moved. Helping someone else succeed was even more satisfying than his own achievements. Years passed, and Carlos finally reached a level of stability he once only imagined. His parents no longer had to work every day. They could rest more and enjoy life. Sometimes people asked him, "What is the secret of success?" Carlos always gave the same answer. "There is no secret. There is only a price." Success requires discipline when you feel tired. It requires courage when you feel afraid. It requires patience when results are slow. Many people want the rewards of success, but they do not want to pay the price. They want quick results without sacrifice. But real success is built slowly. It is built in early mornings when you choose to work instead of sleeping. It is built in quiet nights when you study instead of watching television. It is built in difficult moments when you continue even though quitting feels easier. The price of success is not always money. Often it is time, effort, and perseverance. But Carlos also discovered something surprising. The price is not only painful, it is also transformative. Every challenge made him stronger. Every failure made him wiser. Every sacrifice built his character. Without those difficult years, he would never have become the person he was. One evening, while walking through the city, Carlos passed the restaurant where he once washed dishes. The place looked the same. For a moment, he stopped and smiled. That job had been hard, but it had also been the beginning of his journey. Success had not arrived suddenly. It had grown step by step, day after day. And that is the truth many people forget. Success is not a moment, it is a process where every effort matters, every lesson counts, and every small improvement moves you forward. If you are chasing a dream today, remember this: nothing valuable comes without a price. But if the dream is meaningful enough, the price will always be worth paying. Because one day, you will look back at your struggles and realize something powerful. They were not obstacles. They were the path.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.